Well, hey everyone. We are waiting for spectators. So, hey, I'm setting some things here in the computer, so please hold on a little bit. So, we can start. I will my screen. Okay, welcome to lesson 3 about monetize your Android applications by edX and Galileo. So I'm Jonathan Chavez. I'm here just for you, whatever question that you have about the lesson number 3 or about some doubts about the activity. So please let me know, and I'm happy to answer whatever question that you have. So the first thing about lesson number 3 is about user acquisition. We know that if you have create an immersive message for your potential users. So the question that you always need is why should they listen to it, or this is the starting point of a new user acquisition strategy. So point is that you need a message. More important that the message has to target to a specific audience. But you need to share the experience of using your app or game with your audience before they even use it. An immersive message is essential to providing that experience. What what better way to bring users on board than to give them a positive experience of your game of app for free? Yeah, you always need to have that question. What is the better way to bring user to give a positive experience in your app? The second thing that I would like to share you is about you are developing Android apps or maybe iOS apps. So you need to optimize your app store pages, wherever they are, iOS or Google Play, our new shop windows, for example, or yeah, it's one of the first things that the potential user will judge you. So your page needs to look good. That's the first thing. A good UI experience. Your app have the right name. That's question is very important because you need to communicate to you the right users about your right name, right? So your icon look on mobile device. Are you using keywords for SEO? Yeah, we have a many list about the good things or the things that you need to optimize in your app store. For example, Google Play. The last thing that I would like to tell you is about you need to play before to pay. It's a very important point because this technique isn't it actually something that you can put in place right now, but it's something to aware in the future. Not too far from now, you'll be able to use this technique to gain valuable users and not have to waste time on love LTV users. So you need to play before to pay means letting user demo your app or game in their phone before they have to pay, just like you can with a desktop application, right? For example, I don't know, a game that you we paid before to use. This means that user acquisition will become more of a good news for all mobile developers. So please, I would like to suggest you that you see this video because it's very important in lesson 3. It's about the performance advertising. Please watch it. It's very important that you understand how the performance advertising is setting in, for example, Ads Manager in Facebook or in Google. The all the products about the Google advertising. Please watch the video. Whatever question that you have, please let me know. The last thing that I would like to do you like to say you is about the developer policy center. We know that the innovation drives our shared success, but I say the movie, right? But it comes with a responsibility because these developer program policies, along with the developer distribution agreement, ensure that together we continue to deliver the world's most innovative and trusted apps to over 1 billion people through Google Play. So we don't allow apps that contain or promote sexually explicit content, such as pornography. In general, we don't know allow content on service intent to be sexually. So we are talking about the restricted content. And that's some examples what your apps never, or the content that you have, your app is about the restricts content. So please, one example is for example, promotional images of sex toys. If your app in some time promotes images of sex toys, Google Play, we can share your app in Google Play. So please, never you need to add content on your app about the restricted content. For example, content that depicts, describes, or encourages bestiality. Apps that promotes score services or other service that may interpret as providing sexual acts. So, yeah, they don't allow apps that interfere with disrupt, damage, or access in a unauthorized manner the user device or other device on computer service networks, application programming interface or services, including but not limit to other apps on the device, any Google services or authorized operator network. So yeah, we are talking about the privacy and security. Google Play always will delete your app if you, for example, the apps block or interfere with another app displaying ads, game cheating apps that affect the gameplay of other apps, apps that access or use a service or API and manner that violates in terms of services. That's some examples about the privacy and security. They don't allow apps that directly or indirectly engage in or benefit from promotion practices that are harmful to user or the developer ecosystem. They include apps that engage in the following behavior, for example, using descripts ads or websites, apps or other properties, including notifications that are similar to system notification and alerts, promotion or installation tactics that redirect users to Google Play or download apps without informed user action, unsolicited promotion via SMS services. So yeah, that's some three important things. I will share my screen right now about some examples, so visual examples. For example, this one violate the intellectual property on all about spam. So if you see, is one of the examples about the developer policy center that violates the all policies. So for example, one thing that I would like to share you is about the app titles and icons are so similar, but exists a problem of service that user may mislead. For example, if your app is like this icon, the apps violate the Android brand guidelines, right? So you don't need to copy the icon for another apps. For example, the Twitter. If you design icon like the Twitter Pro, you always are violates the Android brand guidelines. So I have, for example, this image. So if you see all the card in the app, you can play and stop the music, but there are a banner. So this is not correctly because there are some two things. The description in the app this encourages users to allow the copyright the content without authorization. So if you app to do this thing, you are violate the developer content policy. This another example is very important because you are updating the system notification on Android, and you are say like your Android has a virus. So if you do this thing, you are violate the police developer center. And about spam is a good example. Apps groups primarily propose to provide a web view and website without permission. For example, this. We can see the web view in the whole app. Yes, if you want to know about the Developer Policy Center, please, you can go to play.google.com and search the developer content policy. Yeah, that's it for the measure. So please, if you have some question about it, about the lesson 3, please let me know, and I'm happy to answer whatever question that you have. Yeah, I can wait some minutes about it. One thing that I would like to share again about the malicious behavior. We know that you always you will development a good ads, but for example, you can distribute via Google Play because you cannot modify, replace, or rotate using or other Google Play's update mechanism. So if you, for example, you your app may not download execute code, for example, dex or jar or point .seo files. The following are explicit provided: virus, Trojan horses, malware, spyware, or any other malicious software. Apps that are linked to facilitate distribution or installation of malicious software. Apps that introduce or exploit security vulnerabilities. App that install other apps or on device without the user peer consent. So, for example, apps that monitor or track a specific user behavior and device much complying with that requirements. So present user with a persistent notification and unique icon that clearly identifies the app. Apps must not present themselves as a spying or secret solution. Apps must not hide or clock tracking behavior or attempt to mislead user about such functionality. Yeah, that's some examples about malicious apps. So thank you so much for all. Please, if you have some question, I can answer in the forum about the lesson number 3. Thank you so much for being here, and see you later.